Good evening and welcome to ELOSOFUMARTAKES. This is our 354th take, live from the Alec Bradley Lone Star Studio of Azle, Texas. I'm your host, Barry Duplessis, as always, and I'm so proud, so pleased, and so privileged to be with you all tonight. This is going to be a fantastic show. For those of you that just watched the rest of the Super Bowl, welcome aboard. We're going to have a fantastic evening talking about pairings with none other than one of the pairing experts in the industry. We'll get to formal introductions in a second. Before we get to formal introductions, we do have to thank the people that make this show possible, and that, of course, is our sponsors. And tonight's show is brought to you by Drew Estate. The latest and greatest from Drew Estate. Drew Estate has announced the Liga Privada H99 Churrasco exclusively for Cigars International. Yes, Drew Estate is proud to announce the Liga Privada H99 Churrasco exclusively for Cigars International, expanding the acclaimed H99 Connecticut Corojo portfolio with structure and focus. The 6x50 box press Churrasco delivers a bolder expression while retaining the balance, refinement, and complexity that is expected of a Liga Privada H99. The name Churrasco, a nod to fire tradition and bold flavor, perfectly reflects the spirit of this exclusive release. Designed around the distinctive H99 Connecticut-grown Corojo wrapper, the box press Churrasco highlights the wrapper's natural spice, sweetness, and earthy undertones. Beneath the wrapper lies a meticulously constructed blend of premium tobaccos, delivering depth and richness without sacrificing nuance. Cigar smokers can expect layers of black pepper, roasted nuts, dark cocoa, and savory undertones throughout this amazing cigar smoking experience. So check out Cigars International today for the all-new exclusive from Drew Estate. And welcome, everybody. This is our 354th take. If you're tuning to us live, where we broadcast nearly every Sunday night on Facebook Live, or tuning to us later on YouTube, you can also, all of our video broadcasts are courtesy of our good friends at Foundation Cigar Company. Nick Melillo is a well-known cigar maker in the premium cigar industry. He began his career at the age of 18 working in a cigar shop, the Calabash Shop, in his home state of Connecticut. He went on to work for a well-known cigar company, Drew Estate, where he developed some of the most popular blends. In 2015, yes, 11 years ago, he started Foundation Cigar Company to create unique flavor. Unique and flavorful cigars that would appeal from everyone from the novice to the most experienced smoker. Check out foundationcigars.com today for more information. And if you are tuning to us later, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether that be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, or wherever you listen to podcasts, be sure you download, subscribe, and review. Our audio broadcast is courtesy of our good friends at Gran Habano Cigars. Honest, compassionate, great cigars. Be sure you download, subscribe, and review today, thanks to our good friends at Gran Habano. And welcome, everyone. As I mentioned before, this is our 354th take, and it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's guest, brought to you by United Cigars. Smoke one today and start living united. It's Mr. Tripp Waldrop of Let's Get Pairing. Tripp, how you doing tonight?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. As always, happy to be back. Happy to secure my place as the most guested guest on the show.
The record-setting record continues to be reset every time that you appear. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man.
It's so high.
I'm always happy to hang out.
I never have the number on hand, so it's that high. It's that much.
It's so high you can't count it anymore. Like, nobody's ever gonna catch up unless you get a co-host.
Yeah.
So,
I stop inviting you, but that just seems rude. Couldn't do that.
Yeah,
don't want to do that.
Which is an option, right?
I mean, it is. I mean, I don't necessarily foresee it going down that way. But hey, so thanks for joining tonight, Tripp. This is gonna be a fun show. I'm really excited about it. There was a big game that just concluded a few minutes ago. And I know you were really, really enjoying every second of it.
Oh yeah, just edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah. Did you watch any of it?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Not even the halftime show?
No, I have watched the halftime show maybe a handful of times, like 4 or 5 times maybe in my life. Most of them were when I was younger, and my mom would watch whatever her show was and then switch back during the commercials to see if the halftime show was on yet. Nice. And then we would watch the halftime show and go back to whatever he felt like watching.
Nice. Okay. Well, I really enjoyed the halftime show this year. This was Bad Bunny with Kid Rock made a surprise appearance. So did Lady Gaga. It was nice. So
Nice.
good
Wait, you mean
times.
okay. You
Do I
could
mean
you could pull the wool over my eyes. I don't know one way or the other. I think I read didn't Kid Rock do like an alternate thing? Like
sort
a
of?
the not halftime show? His own halftime show?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was kind of like its own thing. But in the main halftime show, Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga made a surprise appearance. It was a cool thing, man. It's really kind of hard to describe. So like it was almost kind of like a music video in its essence. Like it kind of opens up with because he's from Puerto Rico, and it kind
Yeah.
of opens up. He's like walking through almost like it feels like a sugarcane field, reminiscent of
Whoa.
I guess Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's really bizarre that they had the setup on the field and everything. It was crazy. And then it turned into a wedding scene, and then it turned into like a block party scene where he's like out in front of a barber shop and stuff. And it was just man, it was a lot of fun, and I thought it was
That
pretty
sounds pretty
cool.
cool. I'll have to check it out. I usually end up checking out the halftime show, at least part of it, and some of the commercials, like later during the week
Yeah,
when they're on YouTube.
I thought it was pretty good and stuff. But I spent I did enjoy the game. The result came was not to my personal liking. The team I was rooting for didn't win, but I did enjoy the fact that I was right when I said that when we did the big show game with Carney and Coop, I
Hmm.
predicted the Seahawks would win, and they did. So
Nice.
I do I do not like the fact that I'll be on Carney's shit list for at least the next year, but it'll be all right. So, but I also enjoyed
He'll
putting
survive.
together. Enjoyed putting together the snacks that we're gonna have tonight too. So that that kind of brings up tonight's major point, which is brought to you by Gran Habano Cigars. From the fertile lands of Honduras, George Rico and his family have put together the very best vintages for you. Yes, you, the cigar smoker. From value-based hits like Corojo Number 5 to the award-winning 20th anniversary to special projects like Zulu Zulu. Gran Habano is about cultivating the best, making pinnacle cigars for the market. Culture, tradition, quality, premium handcrafted Gran Habano cigars. Let's just talk about this concept, Trip. Well, we actually had another idea, or I had another idea to
I do
do.
have a I'll introduce it at some point. I do have a remnant of the other idea
Oh, okay,
that I'm gonna
fair
do.
enough. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, I had another idea, and then I was thinking, I was like, oh, well, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Like, why don't we do Super Bowl snack foods or like game day snack foods? Um, Not that you're the foremost expert in game day stuff, but I mean,
But you know how much I love snacks.
you like
So
snacks and you like food, so I was like, we could have fun with this. So, um, I mean, I was really excited to put some stuff together and then pair them with some cigars and everything. For those of you who are regulars, Trip will not be picking my cigars tonight. I have them paired with the different dishes tonight. So,
oh,
we've
I
got
should have thought about doing that because I had some pairings picked out, but none of them were the dishes that I actually ended up doing.
gotcha. No
So maybe we'll
worries.
twist it up and I'll let you pick my cigar and we'll see how it pairs.
There we go.
Because that's
Let's do
like,
that.
that's what I do. I feel
Let's
like
do that.
I have more expertise in uh attempting a pairing and telling you how it is than actually going, this is the pairing. All right. Here are our choices. This was supposed to be a T110.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I still had reservas in that box. I just
Oh
grabbed one
wow.
out of the box. I have a intergalactic uh Event Horizon. I have an Añejo. This is the 48. I have a Allegiance from EP Carrillo
Okay.
and a La Aurora Fuerte Sol. What should I go for first?
The family creed.
That's
Uh
your pick?
no. I was just
Oh,
asking,
okay.
just making sure like I was reading it right. Um, you know what? You and I really like that cigar, so let's do that. Yeah, go ahead
All
and do
right.
the La Aurora.
Going for it.
I was so shocked. I was so shocked to hear that like Coop really hates that cigar. Or not hates it, like just doesn't really like it at
I
all.
wasn't. I don't know if I was that surprised. Coop has a particular palate. He doesn't usually like this style of cigar, like the super strong, super intense, over the top kind of cigars, which I feel
Sure.
like this is in contrast with every other cigar that La Aurora has ever made before.
Yeah, it's definitely the strongest La Aurora for sure. And it's got a lot of zip to it, man. But I really liked it. I really liked it. So, my first cigar tonight, is the um Room 101 Johnny Tobacconaut Robusto.
Yes.
Um, Absolutely love the cigar. It's gonna break my heart when Justin eventually discontinues it because that's what he does to you know all the cigars we like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's the business model. You make a cigar, then you discontinue it so you can make a new one.
yeah, I guess. I think, but
I don't understand it, but it's what they've
yeah,
been doing. So
I don't
must work, right?
I don't get it, but yeah, would but no, all joking aside here, really love the cigar. I think it's probably the best cigar that Matt's ever made, and that's saying something because I've really
Hmm.
liked a lot of his cigars over the years. Lighting it, of course, with my ST DuPont monogram, which Jason Samuelson of Cigar Box was kind enough to tell me that I had been saying the wrong name all this time. Um, But it wasn't my fault because the email that I got from Coles of London called it the ST DuPont signature. Um, but I'm not even blaming Coles of London. I'm not even blaming Les because it was material that they got from ST DuPont. So, I mean, I'm just going to keep pointing fingers away from everybody on this.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's a gorgeous lighter. The Biggie lighter, the flat flame. I love this thing. This is fantastic. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm not the biggest fan of yellow gold, but I think this just absolutely pops and is fantastic against that maroon, kind of gorgeous background and everything. And I just love the flat flame. I think it's perfect for toasting.
I love the Biggie, man. Biggie's a
Good
great
stuff.
lighter.
Do you have one?
I do not.
If like money's no object, what is the SD DuPont lighter that you're buying or that you're getting? Like money's
Oh
no
God.
object.
Oh God. Um, if money is no object, it's the one that I once got to use in the booth interviewing the president. I'm not gonna say his name because I'll get it wrong. Um, but the president of the company, I was randomly in, invited to interview him. So I sat down and interviewed him, talked about lighters. We talked about how cool some of the stuff they do is, how it's such an art what they do. You know, they make stuff like the Biggie, which are quote unquote standard lighters. It's a standard format that they've come up with that they
Sure.
stick with, but then they constantly turn it into an art by designing them differently. Stuff like
Right.
the one you're holding. Um, but the one-off stuff is the crazy stuff. They had this. I've gone back and found the name of it, and I can't remember what the name was, but it was a like clockwork lighter that was made out of carbon fiber and like Swiss watch parts. It
Oh,
had like
Jesus.
uh some crazy number. It was like 80 or something gears that interact. There was no springs, traditional springs. It was 80 gears that interact
Oh, I
to
remember this
flip
thing.
the
Yeah,
top
yeah,
open.
yeah. It's
And
crazy.
it was like it was mind blowing. And he's like handed it on a velvet pillow. And then he pulls out white gloves and puts them on and is showing it off. And we're showing it off with the camera and stuff. And then he
Yeah,
just hands it to me and he's like, "Here,
they're
light
big
your
on the
cigar
white
with it."
gloves. They're big on
Yeah.
the white
No,
gloves. You
they
gotta.
didn't give me white gloves or anything. He just straight up handed it to me
Oh, wow.
and had me light my cigar with it. And it was like, wow. This is a lighter that costs more than any car I've ever owned.
That's
At
intense.
that point, it was probably more than all the cars I've ever owned combined because
Correct.
I had 3 very cheap cars in my life at that point. And it was mind blowing to be using that thing. So if money was no object, it would be that.
That's
if
cool.
I'm talking reasonable, it would be the coral and palladium biggie. Like that, like hot pink one they did a couple years ago. I am in love with that lighter.
That's cool. I really like the. I thought you would have picked the Game of Thrones stuff.
The Game of Thrones stuff is like that would be the problem. Is that if I could have a collection, I would have one from everything. I would have an Opus one. I'd have a Superman one. I'd have the Game of Thrones one. I'd have a League of Bravado one. If I could pick one, it would just be like the classic Biggie solid color. I dig it.
Nice. I really like the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea that were released this year. I keep talking. I keep talking about it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it was so cool. The other one was just that I really dig. I mean, I really liked what they did with Fuente. I thought that was really cool. Just all the different opuses and stuff, and then really excited to see the Liga Privada stuff is pretty cool, as well too. So I think it's I just really dig all this new stuff that they come out with every year and stuff. They keep pushing the envelope and raising the bar a little bit with, like all these different collections and stuff.
It's a booth that is like it's not something that's personally in my price range, but I have never gone into that booth and not looked at almost everything and gone, I want that. Like it is everything there is in everything in that booth and that they could sell is like an heirloom piece that if you have it, like your grandkids are gonna see it on your shelf and be like, Dad, what is that? And you're like, I bought that 70 years ago. And it still works.
It still works.
At least that's what I imagine.
St.
DuPont is man, I'm always impressed with what they do, dude. Like,
yeah. It's worth more than your life, kid. That's what you'd say.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it was made of gold, and gold was, $90,000 an ounce at that point.
Yeah,
with the way things are going.
Yeah, I'm kidding. All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive into our first snacks here. We've brought 3 of them to the table. I've paired mine with a cigar. So, my first cigar is the Johnny Tobacco from 101. So we'll get to my snack in a second, but wanted to let you go first on the snacks.
All right. I'm going to do my first snack, and then while you talk about your first snack, I'm going to prepare my warm-ish drink.
Okay.
Man, I'm trying to think of what order to even do these in. I'm going to go buffalo wings first.
Nice.
Fancy paper plate. I don't like doing dishes. All right. So these are like the classic football game snack, right? Like,
right.
There is nothing more classic than football wings and chicken wings and football.
They are football wings. They're not buffalo wings anymore. Sure. They're football wings. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Football wings and football and like hot dog and baseball. Like those are the 2 that just go together so perfectly. So I couldn't pass up an opportunity to make some wings. I do have to say these are from frozen, but they're like, they're raw frozen. They're not pre-seasoned or anything like that. So these were air fried. It's my first time air frying chicken wings successfully because I've tried it before and I've never been happy with the results.
But it turned out well this time. What'd you do differently?
It did. What I did differently is I cooked like 6 of them at a time instead of trying to do the entire batch all at once, which usually I'm a wing smoker. I smoke my wings, 225 for about 2 hours, and then I pull them, stick them in the fridge, and I crank that heat all the way up as high as it'll go, and I just stick them in there until they're crispy, however long that is. So that way you get the little bit of smoky. When you smoke them, it breaks down those fats better, I think, and you end up with a less fatty but similarly juicy wing.
Makes sense.
But these were tossed in something, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Hardcore Carnivore.
Yeah.
Is a seasoning that is incredible. And this is tossed in Hardcore Carnivore Red before cooking. And then tossed in the classic Frank's Red Hot
Buffalo sauce.
after.
Nice.
Yes, the classic buffalo sauce, Frank's Red Hot in the bottle, because I think like that that bottled buffalo sauce that Frank's makes is fantastic.
It
You don't have
really
to
is
make it
good.
from scratch.
It really is good. I like to use Frank's Red original hot sauce to make buffalo sauce, but I like the Frank's Buffalo.
Mhm.
Um, and it's funny. By the way, this obviously was unplanned. I did give a sneak peek photo of my plate to the audience before we started, um, but I'll just go ahead and do it too. I've got I don't have the wings, but I have the buffalo chicken tenders.
Nice.
So also tossed in a classic Frank's Red Hot sauce. I did add garlic, fresh garlic and honey to my sauce and a little bit of butter. I wanted to make it a little bit more rich, because I needed a heart attack. And
Of course.
also did some blue cheese dressing. I normally make blue cheese dressing from scratch. I was a little bit of pressed for time today, and just because I was doing a bunch of other stuff, and did just get some regular. But I usually make my blue cheese dressing with not only blue cheese, but I also add gorgonzola too, because I'm just kind of weird that way. So,
Oh,
but it's a classic for a reason, and it's delicious. And there's a specific reason why I paired this snack with this cigar. This blew my mind about a year and a half ago. I was interviewing Matt Booth, and he told me that he finds buffalo sauce absolutely abhorrent. He finds it disgusting.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah, blew my mind. Like, just blew my mind. I
Like,
was like,
does he
wait,
hate vinegar? Maybe my wife hates vinegar. She deals with buffalo sauce, but
no, I don't.
most hot
I,
sauces are too vinegary for her.
I mean, we talked about it at length, but the vinegar thing never came up. It was just really, it was kind of weird. I was just like, he just said that um, he just didn't like the way it came together. Just like,
Weird.
yeah. And I was like, so, but you like eat other wings? He's like, yeah, other wings and other sauces, totally fine. But original buffalo sauce, he just finds absolutely disgusting. But I just wanted to see, since Matt will obviously never try it himself, I thought, I owed it to him to smoke his cigar and 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 pair it with the buffalo tender.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I have a limited time here. Um, this is a red hot iron steel poker that I'm dipping into my beer.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
It's so cool. I've heard about this for a long time, and when you said hot beverages show, I decided to try it last night as a
Okay.
test, and I thought it was interesting, so I figured I would do it again. I don't have the proper implement for it, which is a red hot poker that has like kind of a weight at the end, so it has like some real mass at the end.
Sure.
Um, so I had to do what any man would do, which is grab a heavy piece of metal from your toolbox and sanitize it.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, my first thought was a mason drill bit, but it had drilled through masonry, so I figured that was probably not the way to go.
Good call.
A little chisel that I can sand down to get all the grossness off, and then wash felt like more of the play. Um, the idea behind this is that you stick it in and it caramelizes some of the sugar and gives you like a different flavor. The
Okay.
interesting part about it to me is that you get hot foam. You have a still like, cool-ish, cooler than room temperature beer, but the foam is warm.
It's warm. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. What kind of beer is it? What are you drinking?
Oh, this is a Yingling, which I bought
Okay.
specifically to try this with because it's an amber ale, so it's kind of got that extra malty sweetness
Hmm.
that I thought would work really well with this test.
Nice. Nice. What other, just to go back to the wings for a second, what other flavor of wings do you like?
Mostly all of them. Uh, like
You're picky
garlic
as it.
parmesan. Garlic parmesan, I'm down with. Lemon pepper.
Yeah.
I'm good with.
Lemon pepper dry or lemon pepper wet?
I'm good with either one, but lemon pepper wet is better.
Yes. I'm glad you know the difference
Um,
too, but that's great.
well, it's I know it because I've watched Atlanta, and it was a whole thing
There's a
on
whole
that
thing.
TV show. Uh, it like
Nice.
it gets like a little extra sweetness to it. Kind
Oh,
of
that's
nice.
crazy. Okay.
I recommend trying it out if you have a heavy piece of metal, a blowtorch, and are confident swinging around a red hot piece of metal.
How long did you heat up that piece of metal?
Most of the time that you were talking on the about the your wings,
Okay.
and I used my big old kitchen torch just to give you an idea.
There you go.
It's
Okay.
this thing is means business. Um,
How many cigars have you
yeah,
lit with that thing?
not a ton, a handful in a pinch, but I have more lighters than I could ever use.
Right.
So I don't need to resort to that most of the time.
So you gotta change it up every now and then. So
But yeah, if I'm like making creme brulees or grilling something that I need to toast a little bit with that thing, of course I'll light my cigar.
so I wanted to talk about like since the we always kind of joke about it, Trip. You're not really a sports buff. And
No, not at all. I
and
I am a sports buff when it comes to very specific sports. You want to talk F1, you want to talk MMA, I'm down.
you're
Just about
you're
anything else, I'm like a lost cause.
you're getting into the conversation at that point. So what okay, so let's I mean have F1's a great example because the race lasts quite a while.
Oh yeah.
What's your strategy for like smoking cigars and watching an F1 race or watching an MMA, card? Like what's the
Uh
strategy there?
Typically I like to start on the softer side and end on the heavier side. Like I think most people do, but I do kind of frequently get to um the point where like an F1 race is usually about 2.5 3 hours. MMA card can be like 5 or 6 hours. um Usually when I get to that last cigar, I have something real strong as balls ready to go, and a lot of times I'll go for something a little more dialed back for my last cigar. Just I don't know why, but like last cigar of the night, I usually like something that is a little easier on the palate, and um I can, like, I don't know, focus on a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I've heard, I mean, for the most part, I think most people I'm the same way. So it's not like we're different here. I smoke light to strong virtually every day, that I'm smoking cigars. But but I've heard a lot of people like even more recently too, even like cigar manufacturers and stuff. They like to start strong and then like finish light.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about is, like, a lot of times I'll go for the start light, end strong, and then I'll get partway through and be like, "You know what? I'm gonna finish on the lighter side."
Oh, I'm
And
sorry, I misunderstood. My apologies. Okay.
but
Gotcha.
I've done it all three ways. I've gone from light to heavy, I've gone from heavy to light, I've gone from light to heavy back to light. I don't usually go light, heavy, light. I mean heavy, light, heavy. But yeah.
The I think the thing that I like to do with, especially like if I'm like watching and for a long time, either like sitting and watching either a movie or a sporting event and like smoking cigars with it, um, is I typically like to smoke cigars that like I really, and might seem kind
Mhm.
of strange. I really enjoy. Like
Yeah, no, I'm
they're in like my
when
top
I'm
five
doing
percent or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually when I'm watching a like F1 race or an MMA fight, I try to smoke something that I know I love. I'm not smoking some new stuff that I've never had before. I'm either, well, once in a while I am, but it's got to be something that like I'm gonna love on paper, you know, like something that people have told me is fantastic and that I think I'm gonna love, or I just smoke a known quantity of something I'm a huge fan of.
Because I feel like with events like that where your focus isn't necessarily on something like logic would dictate like, oh, let me smoke something that necessarily like I'm not really like I don't hate, but I don't love because I'm not really going to be
Mhm.
paying attention to it. And I see, I find that kind of like counterintuitive to smoking the cigar. It's like, no, I'm going to smoke something I really love because I
Yes.
want to enjoy what I'm watching and I want to enjoy the cigar. Um, and so that's what I usually gravitate towards are cigars that I really, really enjoy. Um, what's the what was the last sporting event you watched and smoked cigars? Was it an F1 race? Was it MMA?
It was the final F1 race last year in fuck, I don't remember where it was. Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, might have been
One
Yas
of,
Marina. I don't remember where it was.
so-
I'm bad at keeping track. But you know, once I
somewhere
finish
in the
watching it,
UAE. Somewhere
yeah,
in the UAE.
something like that. I can't remember where it was for the life of me. Anyway,
Oh, it's all good.
um,
Like
yeah, I generally either there are times where I mean it depends on the race time because F1 racing is a really kind of it has a fascinating quirk that no other sport has, which is well, I guess MMA sort of has it, where you have different start times. Like MMA fights, usually it's going to be even if it's like in Australia, it's going to be somewhere between 3 and 9 p.m. Eastern that it's going to start. Maybe 3 and 11 p.m. Um, but there are events that start at like 7 a.m. and they delay the events that people care about until 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. so that they can get the prime time kind of
right, of
stuff
course.
where people are actually going to watch it. F1 is it only focuses on the people who are at the event. So almost every event is happening at like 3 somewhere between noon and 3 p.m. local time. So in the US, sometimes you're watching a race at 3 in the morning, sometimes you're watching a race at 11 p.m., sometimes it's at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Like it's all over the place. So
Right.
depending on where the race is and what the timing is like, some days I wake up early and I put the race on the TV and the baby comes in and she she wakes up and she uh since I tease my wife that it's her favorite sport because she was like day after she was born I watched a race in the hospital and I was holding her and she was, you know, not caring at all. But since then, she kind of likes the colorful cars moving around the screen.
Yeah.
And so she puts up with it better than she'll put up with, I don't know, The Office, some adult show that we're watching that she doesn't care about as a 1.5 year old.
Right.
But racing, she's like, ooh, that's cool. Um, and gets somewhat interested in it. Most of the time, I'm out here in the office watching on my TV, and I am smoking a cigar from 30 minutes before it starts till 15 minutes after it ends or so. I went off on such a tangent, I don't remember what your original question was.
No, I was just asking like your favorite like cigars that like I usually smoke cigars that I really enjoy. How many cigars do you usually if you're watching an F1 race from beginning to end, how many cigars do you usually go through?
A lot of times it's like it's two. Sometimes it'll be one. Like if I can, I'll try to go for like, a Churchill Presidente, something like that. Salamone that I know is going to last me the whole time. And then the race is going to be wrapping up right as I wrap up my cigar, and it's going to be perfect.
That's unusual because like for me, I would like want to try to have like 3 or 4 cigars for an event instead of
Um,
smoking one. But
no, I get that. The problem is every time I don't know if I've ever bought like an A or a Presidente or something like that, but I've received them one way or the other.
okay,
And then they sit in my humidor and I'm like, I'm never gonna smoke this thing. I'm never gonna have 3 hours to smoke a cigar.
to myself, yeah, okay, that
And
makes sense.
stuff like that is the perfect opportunity.
Oh yeah,
And once in a while, I'll smoke one of those and then get to smoke another cigar.
there you go. Fantastic. Alrighty. Well, how's the beer tasting still? Is it still good? Like, is the foam
Oh
still
yeah.
warm? I'm sure it's probably cooled down
The
by now.
foam is gone, but the beer is about room temperature at this point. But it does have like this almost coffee like roastiness to it. Like that little bit of sugar kind of toasted quality, which I really like that little bit of added complexity. So to explain where this idea came from, in the 1700s, it was a normal thing. Like if you ordered a beer bar, they would pull a poker out of the fire and dip it in your beer. Um, I wonder if there was a an idea that it was killing bacteria or something at some
Yeah, I was
point.
gonna say some kind of
But
form of sterilization.
it's possible. But from what I've read, it was more just people liked that little toasty flavor, and it was a cool thing to watch.
It's pretty
So
cool.
they started doing it.
Uh, are you normally a beer and wings guy? Like, is that the go-to pairing?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. A nice crisp lager and hot wings
Yeah,
can't be beat.
no, it's really good. And what's the go-to wing spot there in, I know you've lived all over the country. So this
I
two-part
have.
question, what's the best wings place you've ever eaten at? And then what's the go-to wing spot in Florida that you're currently living in?
The best wing place I've ever had is Fire on the Mountain on Burnside Avenue in Portland. Um, it is a cool place. They have like that whole like spray painted walls kind of vibe kind of thing. Like murals on the outside of the building and stuff. They have it's like it's part tap room, so they have, I don't know, a dozen or so taps. They'll have a couple of beers that they have made by local breweries specifically for them, and then the rest are just they have rotating stuff where one week it might be Bud Light, another week it might be some crazy IPA from somewhere in the country or somewhere in Portland. And they have, I want to say like 15-ish different sauces ranging from like Korean inspired and Hawaiian style to your classic hot wings, all the way up to their atomic wings. Oh, they have a peanut butter Thai wing
Oh,
sauce
that
that is
sounds good.
incredible.
Yeah, sign me up for that. That sounds good. Um, how do you feel about like super, super hot wings? Like like
Oh,
this, you
I'm
mentioned you
I
mentioned the
love.
atomic. Is it good or is it just painful?
I mean, it depends on the place, right? Like there are places that their hottest sauce is just awful tasting, hotter than anyone can handle. I like a very hot wing with flavor. Um, Fire on the Mountain, for example, their atomic sauce had a lot of flavor. Once in a while, I'll do half a basket of, you know, they'll let you like split. So split I would have a basket that I have with my wife, and then I would have another basket that is half hot or whatever and half atomic, so that I could get my little adrenaline going.
Your yeah,
I'm a
get
spicy
the
guy.
your cap yeah the capsaicin fix. So
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get fixed.
I still love Wingstop. I think Wingstop's incredible.
Wingstop is the best chain wing,
Yeah,
hands down.
yeah. I eat it. Um, I've eaten it since I was in high school. I love it still to this day. Um, but they changed. I think it happened sometime like prior to 2010. I want to say mid 2000 and like 2005, 2006, something like that. They changed their atomic recipe because I used to eat their atomic and I thought it was really flavorful, really good. And people are like, "Oh, Bear, you just got old." I'm like, "No, I was still in college." Like, I mean, I still eat a lot hotter stuff. Don't get me wrong, that actually tastes better. But they changed their recipe and it's just painful. It's just painful now and it
I
doesn't taste good.
I never had that version because I first had Wingstop, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago maybe.
Hmm.
Um,
Have you tried the atomic?
I have, and I agree, it's not good.
Okay. Because that would have been funny if you're like, "Oh, it's amazing." I'm like, yeah, no, it's not
No,
good.
I don't think it's good.
It's just painful.
Usually,
Like it's like really heavy on the black pepper and whatever, like, ghost pepper extract or whatever
yeah,
like just throw in there to make it like just obnoxious.
yeah, it's probably some kind of extract. Extract as a hot sauce geek, like extracts are um bad. Like it's
Yeah,
extracts are
well,
just not good. Like
yeah,
it's
it's just to
just
get
heat
it's just
without any flavor.
exactly. Yeah, that's all it is.
I have eaten Carolina Reapers. I would rather eat a Carolina Reaper than have some kind of extract sauce that's hot but no flavor. Or hot with bad flavor. Like some of those extract sauces are hot with with bad flavor, actively bad, like offensively bad flavor.
There
Um,
was there
what
was
I
there was a local fair here or a local farmers market here that and there was this vendor and they had a Carolina Reaper peach wing sauce that they were doing and
mm,
that shit
I'm
was
down.
good. That shit was really
I would
good.
eat the hell out of that.
Yeah, super fucking hot, but damn, it
With
was good.
Wingstop, what we usually do is actually like we've we've done this a couple times for like family kind of events because I want I want to go hard, right? Like I want to put some crazy hot sauce on my wings and want my eyes to bleed. My son wants to put himself and try some different sauces. He wants to try 4 or 5 different sauces in escalating heat levels. My wife wants like lemon pepper or something like that. So rather than do like 6 different sauces, we'll always order like I don't know, depending on how many people we have, 40 to 80 piece wing that's just plain from Wingstop because they absolutely have the best wings.
Yeah.
But then we can order some sauces on the side, sauce them ourselves. Everybody's happy, and it's like you don't have that confusing part of like, oh well, they gave us 2 dozen of this one and only 1 dozen of that one.
Yeah.
Just avoid that whole headache. That's my Wingstop pro tip. Get the sauce on the side and just get a shitload of wing.
There you go. So what's your favorite place down in Florida?
Probably Wingstop.
Okay.
Um, like
Yeah.
I haven't found a place that has wings that I'm like, oh my god, these are great. There is a place that is like a uh this will offend some people, I assume. It's like redneck Applebee's called Beef O'Brady's. It's it's just a chain restaurant that has pretty good food with good beer. Um, it's actually a lot better than Applebee's. Applebee's calling it an Applebee's is offensive, I think, because Applebee's is horrific. But they have good wings there. They're
Yeah.
expensive because it's like you go to a restaurant now and it's like $19 for 8 wings, and it's like, come on, like I know how much wings cost, and I know how much sauce, how hard sauce is to make.
Right.
Don't don't try to charge me $25 for half a dozen wings or whatever.
Well, it's just like with anything, then. Like, when like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
with Wingstop used to have like 25-cent wing day,
Mm.
or whatever, and wings used to be really affordable and like a cheap meal. Tacos, the same thing with tacos, you know,
Oh yeah.
and you know, it just seems like something becomes like a cult classic, and then it just gets bastardized and like overpriced everywhere you go, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
so.
Oh, I just thought of another fantastic wing place that is no longer in existence.
Hit
So
me.
there was rather the recipe still exists. If you want to hunt down the crazy amount of ingredients it takes, you can feel free. There's a place in Portland that was called Pock Pock. It was the talk of the city. It was in the from the early 2000s to like 2012 or 13. It was the restaurant of the city, right? Um, it was just a white dude from Portland who spent like 10 years in Thailand learning to make Thai food.
Okay.
And he became an expert of local Thai cuisine and brought those recipes back and started this restaurant. And they had fish sauce wings. So they were full on wings, like not clipped. So it was, you know, uh, drum
Had
flat tip,
Yeah, I was gonna
the
say
whole
had the
thing.
whole joint. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And they were cooked in fish sauce and chili pepper, and they're spicy and salty and super umami. It is one of the best things I've ever eaten.
Oh
I have his
wow.
cookbook. I haven't tried to make the wings because it is like 30 ingredients to make that sauce. Um,
What happened to it?
and
You said it doesn't exist anymore. What the hell happened?
yeah, COVID took it down. When COVID happened,
Shit.
they couldn't keep the restaurant running. He's done a pop up a couple times. I think he moved back to Thailand actually to kind of like retire. I mean, he's been running this restaurant for 25 years, and uh, and it suddenly went tits up. Um,
God, man,
man,
that's
it was
that's
it
terrible.
was that was like we never lived near it. It was 45 minutes away, no matter where we lived around Portland. Um, but it was like my birthday spot. Every year for my birthday, we would go there, and my mind would be blown by like the weird food. I remember the first time we went there, they're like, the waiter is like, we recommend eating with your hands. You don't need to pick up that fork. Just grab some rice, grab some boar cheek, and dig in.
There
And
you
so that's
go.
what we did. And 10 years later, we were still in the same place, and people were looking at us like crazy people because we're over here eating rice with our hands. And that's one of my favorite memories of that place is looking like an insane person.
So here's a question I wanted to ask about wings because I think this is one of those underrated like debates that goes on about wings. No, it's not drums versus flats. That's not what I'm
Okay.
asking.
Because everybody
Um,
knows flats are better. Like that's there's no discussion to be had, right?
I mean, I'm one of those people who actually likes both, but
I
I
mean, I'll
I
I'll eat both,
I think
but
flat. I think flats are underrated. I think
my
flats are
son and my
underrated.
wife are flats people.
Okay.
And so like when we order from Wingstop, I'll get 80 piece all flats.
All flats?
So that they're not because then if we get regular wings, I get zero flat. Because I have two other people that only want flats.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. So you're stuck with all the drums. I think, yeah, I think flats are underrated. I think most people like prefer drums, and I think most people will say drums. And I think flats catch a bad rap. Like I think they're underrated.
That seems crazy
So
to me. Flats are
yeah.
better.
There's a high school classmate of mine. Digress for 2 seconds before we go into this question, but um,
Absolutely.
he has a, I think it's still a food truck. He might have a restaurant. He might actually have like a storefront now. But he started a wing food truck, and it's not the traditional wings. He buys he buys drumsticks, whole drumsticks, like large drumsticks, and
Like actual drumsticks, not drumheads, right?
yeah, not drumettes, and shaves down the bone and turns them basically lollipops. Like people you've seen
Okay.
drumstick
Yeah.
lollipops. That's his shtick. And then flavors, random flavors and all different kinds of flavors. But here's the cool thing. The name of his the name of his food truck is called Tommy Want Wingy from Tommy Boy. and it's
Yeah.
fucking clutch. And I was like, man, how did he not?
That's so good.
And I was like, man, I hope he never gets in trouble. Like, I hope he never, like, no one ever comes after him, copyright or anything like that. Like that is just fucking awesome. And it looked like his food looks really good. I've had it once. It's awesome. It's so good. But like he's just yeah, it was just awesome. I mean, great name, great food, and like shout out to Tommy Wet Wingy because it's badass. So
That's a fantastic name,
yeah.
and it sounds delicious.
So no, but the question I was gonna ask was because I think this is kind of one of those you know, also underrated arguments about would would you rather have like crispy versus tender wings? Like what's the go-to? Would you rather have the you have to have the crunch, or would you rather have tender wings?
All right, let me clarify a little bit. Are we saying if I choose crispy, they're like a little overcooked, not great, but they're crispy? And if they're tender, there's no crispy, but they're otherwise delicious.
Like I think that like for me, like tender wings, for example, I think Wingstop's a great example of this with their flats. Like their flats don't have a lot of crunch. Their drums have a lot of
Yeah.
crunch. Their flats don't have a lot of crunch, but that meat is tender and it's juicy and flavorful and it's fantastic. It has a
I
little bit of
think
texture to it,
tender
but
is
it
more
does,
important to me.
yeah. I think when you get into like super crunch, it's just like, okay, like all I'm eating and all I'm tasting is skin.
Yeah, if I'm that interested in the crunch, I'm probably gonna do what I consider sacrilege for a buffalo wing, but it's a different thing if you get Korean wings because they are breaded.
Right.
If I want the crunch, I'm going breaded, which is very rare. I'm never putting buffalo sauce on something with bread on it. Well, maybe tenders or something, but nothing with a bone. But like Korean wings, they're double fried, double breaded. They're delicious.
Yeah. I love Korean wings. I really like, have you tried the Wingstop, the Korean barbecue flavor from
No,
Wingstop?
I never have.
Really good.
Where's my nearest wing stop? I'm gonna look that up later.
And they've got a hot honey garlic one that's
I
like a
have
limit
had that
like
one.
yeah,
That's the one.
that's a new unlimited edition that they'll I hope they keep that around or bring it back because it's freaking good. That's really fantastic. All right.
I'm loving
Wh-
the hot honey trend. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely one of those trends I really like. I mean, there's a lot of food trends that are like that get overplayed and then they're not they get overplayed and they're just exhausting. And then there's some that I just like absolutely loved and still love, like Chipotle, peppers, sauce,
Oh
whatever,
yeah,
seasoning. Yeah, still a fucking banger. Still awesome.
totally rules, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and break things up here with our first fun segment, and then we'll get into our next snack. Of course, our first fun segment is brought to you by United Cigars. It is our residential trivia segment, which is, are you ready to live the United lifestyle? Yeah, launch your palate voyage with United Cigars. You can celebrate over 250 years of excellence with Red Anchor, or celebrate or experience excellence with La Gian Havana. Rekindle the spirit of 1776 and light up the skies with a firecracker. Then celebrate honor, pride, and accomplishment with a gold star. Jet set the globe and capture luxury with Atabey, Byron, Alfonso, Bandolero, or now the Nelson line from Selected Tobacco. Don't just smoke. Smoke United. United Cigars since 1901. United we smoke. Shout out to Oliver though, who had some trouble and difficulty
Oh man,
getting
Oliver
back
had a
home.
rough week, dog.
That was awful. I was complaining. We were talking about our travel situation, traveling for work before we kind of got started and stuff, and tonight, and how much we've been traveling lately and stuff, and yeah, as much trouble as I've had in airports recently, I definitely I definitely have nothing to complain about compared to what Oliver went through. Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
So
I was reading about his two aborted landings in a row on the same plane. Um,
yeah,
I my son is terrified of flying. I was terrified of flying as a kid. I flew all the time. It freaked me out. And I told my son the scariest thing that has ever happened on a plane was aborted landing. When you're about to land and then the engines go to 100% and you just go back to flying. And like the feeling of that is awful. And I haven't had one since I was a kid. And Oliver had two in the same day. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's rough. But I think he's home back. I think he's back home now, which is good. So shout out to Oliver and everything. So, and I'm glad you're home safely. So, we obviously had, today's theme is the Super Bowl. And and I know you're not the biggest sports fan, but I had to do it. We had to stay on theme here. So, the first question is multiple choice. So you got a shot here. Okay. So, who
Okay.
was the first president to deliver the coin toss at the Super Bowl in person? Okay. Was it A, Bill Clinton, B, George H.W. Bush, that was the dad, C,
Yep.
Richard Nixon, or D, Ronald Reagan?
Hmm. It seems like it could be a 90s thing, but I feel like it would be before that. But I don't have the context of how big of a deal the Super Bowl was before the 90s.
Right.
I'm going to go Richard Nixon, but I may be wrong and it could be Clinton or HW.
Yeah, I was a little early for Richard Nixon, so it was George H.W. Bush was the first one
Okay.
to deliver the coin toss in person at the Super Bowl. Um, and so coincidentally enough, um, Richard Nixon was actually the first sitting president to attend an NFL game.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so which I think is remarkable. I mean, I think I know everyone's like, fixated on baseball, it's national pastime and stuff like that. So there's a lot more of a tradition there. But, this professional football really didn't catch fire like where it's become like a national obsession until like the 80s. Like that's when it really kind of picked up. Like the super
Yeah, it was. I know that in the early 70s is when it kind of like people, football stars started to be a thing,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like everyone was obsessed with it, as far as I know, at least until the 80s.
Yeah, like we look back at some of like the all-time greats, like the 50s and 60s and stuff, and those like there were some really great players and everything like that. But as far as like the national obsession of football, it didn't really start till later. In fact, I mean, you can tell by the fact that like some of the stadiums that the Super Bowl was played in, compared to now where it's like it's a whole 2 week event, and they have events leading into
Hmm.
events, they have concerts, they have so much stuff, and it's just like it's insane. Like it's an insane, it's become an insane deal. And so much so that, like at this point they just need to make it a national holiday because honestly, like there's gonna be so many people that show up to work tomorrow hungover and stuff, and there's no one gets any
Oh
work
yeah.
done. And I don't get it. Like they just need to make it a national holiday at this point and recognize it on the following Monday. But
I mean, there is another option, but I don't. I don't understand. I don't understand enough about football to know if it's giant faux pas to have the Super Bowl on a Saturday instead of a Sunday. That would make more sense to me. Maybe that's the thing people refuse to do.
yeah, I mean, the tradition of professional football on Sunday specifically probably will forbid it from ever happening on Saturday unless, there's like some kind of emergency or something like that. But
Yeah, you're
honestly, I
probably
mean,
right.
I mean, logically, that's the that's the thing to do, right? So, all right. Well, that'll lead us into our true or false. So let me reread the first question, okay? Just so you understand
All
the
right, I'm
second
listening.
question. Who was the first president to deliver the coin toss in person at the Super Bowl? Okay. So true or false? Ronald Reagan was inaugurated on the same day as the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna say false. Inauguration happens January 20th, and maybe the Super Bowl moved at some point, but
You said false?
it would seem I said false, yeah.
Okay. You're right. Actually, the Super Bowl did move. The Super Bowl used to be in late January, and it got
Oh, okay.
pushed out more and more. And then now with there being 17 games in the regular season, it really has it's really become a more the second week of February or first week of February kind of deal. So, but yeah, um,
Okay.
Ronald Reagan was inaugurated. This was his second inauguration in 1985. And then he later that day he actually did a coin toss, but he didn't go to the stadium. He did it via satellite in the Oval Office.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Very futuristic.
he was the first president to ever throw a coin toss for the Super Bowl, but he didn't do it in person. So that was part of the trickery today for today's uh presidential trivia segment and everything. So but yeah, that goes to that goes to the point about how this wasn't really like there's no way that that would happen today. The
Hmm.
presidential inauguration and the Super Bowl on the same day, there's no way that's happening.
Yeah, no way.
I mean, as it is, like, and this is unique, even more unique because NBC had the Super Bowl coverage this year, right? And the NBC also handles all of the coverage for the Olympics, and of course, the Winter Olympics are going on in Italy right now. And
Yeah.
I mean, what a first of all, kudos to NBC for that putting that together. But I mean, just having those two logjam, even on one day, just holy cow! Like, thank
Yeah,
God
that's a
it's
lot for one day.
early. Thank God it's early in the Olympics. I mean, this is only day two of the Olympics, but like, just insane. Trying to organize that. So, um, but um, but yeah, I still can't believe I still can't believe that that Richard Nixon was the first to attend a football game. Like even as unpopular as football was, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Because that wasn't that
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Interesting.
This was the 60th Super Bowl this year, which coincides with our nation's 250th anniversary, which is also pretty cool. Um, and so they had like a bunch of two commemorative performances and patriotic things pre-game of the Super Bowl, so celebrating the 250th anniversary and stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I was really curious as to um I was really curious as to like what they were going to do with that if anything, just because they're with it being in California this year and everything like that, I would just and with how polarizing like how politics have become and stuff like that, I just didn't know if they were actually even going to recognize it. But the NFL's this stayed pretty consistent with honoring like veterans and stuff like that, and they lumped the 250th
Yeah, they
birthday
try
into
to
that.
stay pretty down the middle, it seems like, for the most part.
Yeah,
You know,
and
there's all
then
those
it's
controversies, but typically those are player
it,
friendly.
yeah, and it's funny because they play the middle pretty well, but it's really funny because there's so many people that on both sides that like hate the NFL for like the same reason. Like, oh,
Yeah.
like you're not liberal enough, or oh, you're not conservative. Like and then it just becomes this thing. So I just want to watch the
Yep.
game. That's always the end. That's always the common denominator. I just want to watch the game. I don't want to talk politics. It's like, okay, well then just watch the game. But
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that was it was they had a really great pre-show pre-show pomp and circumstance, the national anthem, America the Beautiful, um, the jets flying overhead, which is always cool. I love that they do that. And
Yeah.
sporting events and stuff. It was just it was a it was a really good it was a really good game too for the most part. A lot of people might call it boring because it was a really defensive battle, but I still really enjoyed it. So um but I know you don't watch it, Trip, so you didn't miss much.
All right. I'll
But
take your word for it.
but check out
I
the halftime show. I
honestly,
have check out the halftime show on the replay because I think I would love to get your take on it.
I will. I didn't know who was playing today until I Googled it last night because I figured since we're doing a show, I should probably at least know
We probably
people
should
what
know
we're
who
talking about.
who is playing.
Yeah.
When's the last time you watched a football game? Is it ever or
Probably at Thanksgiving that I had family over or was at my in-laws' house because
gotcha?
like my brother-in-law and my father-in-law like football. My uncle that we for many years spent Thanksgiving with watched the game every year at Thanksgiving. Like I understand the rules. I understand why people enjoy watching it. I just I don't give a shit which team wins. I can enjoy watching a game,
Sure.
but I have no investment in any team.
Yeah.
Uh, and you know, uh, that makes me not that makes me apathetic to it for the most part. But if I'm watching it, like I don't think I've ever been to a football game, but I've been to other sports ball games, and like I can enjoy watching a game,
Sure.
and I'll root for the home team or whatever, and I just don't get into the like
The live and die with it kind of stuff.
yeah the live and die of it all, like where
Yeah.
people are like, and this my team is gonna win because they
Right.
live near me. My team is the best, and that's the part that I just don't get.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this on previous shows and I know this means nothing to you, but I actually don't watch my college football team anymore. TCU. I don't watch football anymore. I completely boycotted it. When they fired the head coach that I had known personally and had rooted for
Uh,
years and stuff.
that'll do it.
And they fired him mid-season too, after he did an incredible job
Ouch.
for over 2 decades, building a program, building a city, practically building that university. And it was just really a disrespectful move on my part, in my opinion. And so I just can
Yeah.
but I gotta tell you, man, my Saturdays are so much better now. Like they're so stress-free because I don't care. Like I'm with you. Like I don't care. Like I don't really watch college football anymore as much, which is crazy because I used to watch it all the time. And um now I don't watch college football and it's so stress-free and it's great. Because and it got to the point even when I was still enjoying it and I was still watching it, I mean it got to the point where it's kind of annoying. Where like
Mhm.
my Facebook feed would be full of like old classmates just like, I can't believe you made that call and this, that, and the other, and stressing out over like everything. And if they lost, it would like ruin their first half of their week. And if they won, it was like the greatest thing ever and stuff. And it was just like got to the point where that was just a little annoying. So,
That's the thing that I think that's the main like disconnect that I have from sports is I don't understand why people get so invested in it.
I'm
Like I
invested in
understand
it,
that
but
you
it
want
just
a
does.
particular team to win,
Yeah,
but I don't understand why you get upset whether they when they lose and excited when they win.
I get
Um,
it. I get
I mean,
I get
I
pissed off
can
in the
understand the
moment.
excitement, but I
Yeah.
don't get it.
No, I'm with you. I get excited in the moment. I get pissed off in the moment. I'll be like frustrated. I'm like, God, why'd they do that? Or oh, or yeah, like it's
Yeah,
it's more
well,
moment.
I understand that because
Yeah,
it's
it's more in the
exciting.
moment. Yeah, it's more in the moment for me. Like afterwards, like, man, oh shit, we'll get him next year, or we'll get him next week, or we'll get him next game, or whatever. Um,
Exactly.
you know, and Yeah, the the ruining of like multiple days in a row over it just yeah, if
It's crazy.
it kind of flabbergasts me at this point. Like when I was younger, when you're younger, it's like, okay, that's cool, man. I mean, your life kind of revolves around that stuff. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, I guess. So,
Could be it.
let's
Could be
go
it.
into our second pairing. So, what do you got, Trip?
Trying to decide which one to go for, and I think I'm going to go for the more appetizery one, which is my cheese dip. Uh, I whipped this together, man. Like I told you in the pre-show, I had a misunderstanding of the concept and didn't realize we were actually eating food on the show. So I this is a recipe that I have made many times. I call it white people queso because it is very simple to make. I can make it in the microwave with like 4 ingredients and it's delicious. And it is one of those things that if I did go to Super Bowl parties, I would be mad at everyone that they didn't have queso at because you need to have cheese dip. It is a
Yeah.
requirement. Um, so I used just plain shredded cheese, like bag shredded cheese, Kraft
Okay.
shredded Mexican cheese. I usually use a little bit of American cheese, but I didn't realize we were out because American cheese has that incredible plastic property of making it smooth.
Right. Yeah, it's and
So
melting cheese,
I
yeah.
used just a little bit of Velveeta because
Okay.
that processed cheese, you need like a slice of American cheese per pound of other cheese. It's a crazy how small of an amount of American cheese makes a difference. A little bit of whole milk, some salsa. I uh I wanted to spice this one up a little bit, so I added about 5 drops to this little tub of cheese dip of what is called the Last Dab Apollo. Are you familiar?
The last dab of Paulo. No.
So this is it's from Hot Ones, the YouTube show
Right.
where they interview celebrities and they have hot wings. It is the final sauce that they use. Um, so Apollo is the name of a pepper. It is the so first came the Carolina Reaper. This guy Ed Curry. I've spent a day with him. I don't know him, but I've spent a day with him. Um, and he bred the Carolina Reaper. He created it through splicing of genes and multiple generations of growing peppers. Um, to from what he's told me, like you can come up with a hybrid of two peppers, but it takes like 10 to 12 years of generating that, of going through generations of that pepper and to the offspring. Um, Usually multiple generations per year. So it can be like 20 generations of plants before you get one that is stable, where it is around the same heat every time and they have the survivability that they need to where you can actually like market it as a product.
Right. And now it's
So
Carolina
he
Reaper or whatever. Gotcha. Yeah.
yes. And so he started that in like 2000 and in 2013ish is when the Carolina Reaper came out. And around I don't know what year it was, 2018, 19, near the beginning of the Hot Ones show. They needed something hotter than Carolina Reaper. And as Smokin' Ed has told me, he has a war chest. So he has all these projects he's been working on that he just doesn't tell anybody about. So that when Bill from Nebraska makes hotter pepper than the Carolina Reaper, he can go, I have one hotter than that. And so he has like multiple peppers that are much hotter than the Carolina Reaper. But there's no point in paying for the Guinness World Record to keep one upping yourself. He wants to wait for somebody else to raise the bar. He raises it a little higher.
There you go.
But because of Hot Ones, they talked him into releasing Pepper X, as he called it, which was the succession to the Carolina Reaper. Then they wanted an even hotter one, So he actually spliced the Carolina Reaper with Pepper X to create the Apollo pepper. This one he did go back and got the Guinness World Record for the hottest pepper on earth, for the Apollo pepper. This is a hot sauce that is 95% Apollo pepper.
Oh my
It's
God.
very spicy. It's very intense. I put 5 drops in this, and it's not melting my face, but it's noticeable.
Yeah.
And I fear if a normal person would eat this, it would have terrible effects on their body. I'm very accustomed to these super, super hot peppers. And I love them. So I have some very spicy cheese dip as my second pairing. And I have taken the reins. I'm going to pair this with the T110, but I'm going to go grab a regular T110 instead of the broadleaf while you tell us about your next pairing.
All right. Well, like great minds think alike, man. I thought we were gonna. So apologies to our audience if you're expecting a lot of variety. Uh, I think my last snack will actually get is a little bit different and everything. But I also have chili con queso. Um, this is chili con queso fundido, which is made with chorizo and ground beef. Um, and I put that into my cheese sauce and along with some other added seasonings that are I keep a secret. And then also, but I mean, one thing that you got to do when you make chili con queso is you got to use Rotel. So I use Rotel. I think it's really good. It's really well worth it and everything, and it goes really great in any kind of cheese. And so you got to go with Rotel. You heard Tripp use this salsa to mix with his.
I usually
I've
do use Rotel, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rotel is just kind of good. I really like the green chilies. I think green chilies are great. And so you use chorizo and also ground beef. Um, and if you really want to if you really want to get crazy, which sometimes I do, the reason they call it queso fundido is you light it on fire uh, in the final process of cooking. So this has already been made. So I've got the chili con queso fundido, and I am pairing it with Crowned Heads Tennessee Waltz.
Nice.
So the podcast listeners are really going to get into this with all scripts.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying like the podcast listeners are really going to love this with all the crunching and the chewing and stuff.
I'm hoping my mic cuts out most of it, but we'll see.
I really like this. So as the story goes with Crowned Heads, when they originally released the Tennessee Waltz, and then they did the Yellow Rose for the state of Texas. I mean, they were essentially as the saying goes, they were different. They were different vitolas, but they were the same blend. Um, I've always, ironically, being from Texas, you would think that I would like the Yellow Rose. I've always preferred the Tennessee Waltz. I think it's really good. And I was really excited that they were actually going to make it kind of regular production. And this is, of course, with the new rebranding that Crowned Heads did. Which I think it's just stellar. I think it's so clean, so beautiful. I love the orange. I love the fact, like I said, the Tennessee Waltz is becoming more regular production. And to me, it's still just as good. Now, they also did new Vitolas too, which is also great. So you kind of get to taste the blend in different sizes. If you had the box press torpedo, which was the Yellow Rose, it was kind of a Robusto or Corona Extra. It's not really a Robusto Extra. The original Tennessee Waltz size was more like a Corona Extra, a little bit more like a fatty Corona, but Corona Grande or something. But this is a Toro.
Corona Gorda, perhaps.
Yeah, this is a Toro. And was really kind of excited about it. 6x54. Was really anxious to try this cigar at this size. It's fantastic. I've also got some chilies in here, and it's getting to throat. So I'm gonna take some water here and take a sip of my puff off my cigar. But it's really well balanced and it matches up really well.
I'm finding with the T110 a really interesting thing. I picked this cigar because this is the one cigar that I was like, this is the one I'm going to pair with that cheese because that cheese has some kick to it, but the cigar also has some kick to it. So it's kind of interesting that I take a bite of that cheese, I get that explosive heat. You can see my eyes almost watering now. Like it is. There's only a couple drops in there, so it's not like that intense, but it is very sharp. That heat.
Yeah.
So the cigar tastes almost like sweet and earthy. And then as the heat dissipates on my palate, the cigar starts to get spicy again, which is really an interesting pairing experience that I don't think I've ever had.
Yeah, I'm trying to really. I'm going back and forth here. I'm like hitting mute on this because I don't want all this crunching just to go into the microphone stuff. But man, this I did a really good job on this queso this year. This is fantastic. To your point, queso needs to be part of every game day meal. You have to have it. I completely agree. I will say this though. Um, and I say this with all respect because you know you even said this is like white guy, but you also added something to it and everything. But like white people need to stop making nachos. Like seriously, like they like the whole 7 layer dip concept.
Yeah,
Like
it's a little
people,
too much.
it's gross.
So,
No, that's
th-
my hot. And if I
so
that's a
this
hot take. I don't
recipe,
think this is a hot take. 7 layer dip is disgusting, and it's not
I
fun.
agree. I
And
don't like it.
yeah, and like I just don't get it. Like why people think it's delicious. Like cold beans on top of like processed guacamole that you didn't make yourself, on top of cheese. Sometimes people add olives. Like it's just like what the what the fuck? Why is that? No, this is not delicious. Like it's not. It's just disgusting. And
If it was
there's no
good, if it was good, you'd be able to put it all into a crock pot and melt it all down, and it would be delicious. But it
right.
wouldn't. It would be gross.
So
Um,
there was this
yeah, this stems from what I call white people nachos, which is
right,
just breaded cheese on top of chips in the microwave.
right.
That is like my base level nacho snack,
But that's fine.
and I love it.
That's fine. You don't have to do anything else to it. That's the thing that like I don't understand why white people just like they want to do all this other stuff with their nachos and they're not good at it.
Hmm. I
Like
agree.
I'm sorry. That and it's just it, but there's this trend going on. Like a lot of people were like prepping their pregame stuff, and they're like, people were doing like, I don't know if you saw this anywhere like on your social media feeds, but people were doing like tabletop nachos. So they put down, thankfully, they would put down a cover, but basically they would have sections. They basically made a giant 7 layer dip just spread out on a table. And so they had like beans, guacamole, like, and like,
That's wild.
yeah, and it's just looks gross. Like it doesn't even look good.
White people are out of control, man.
Yeah. It's just like, and like this woman, like there's this one video, this woman took like this chip and she like went through all of it and like took a bite of it. And I was like, oh God. Just like, no, no.
No thanks.
But my chili con queso is fantastic. I know yours is spicy, so I bet that's fantastic as well. Um, how's it going with this? You said you really like the way it kind of changes the flavor of the cigar, huh?
Yeah, like every time I take a bite, the cigar gets more sweet, more earthy, more a little more mineral kind of heavy. And then as the spice dissipates, it gets spicier. And it tastes more like what I expect out of a T110. And then every once in a while, sometimes even after taking a bite of the cheese, I take a puff and I get that like blast of intense spice. I love this cigar, man. It's been too long since I smoked one.
Is that what year is that from? The T110.
This is the 2024 T110, I think it was. 2023, maybe?
Those are so
It was
good.
the first re-release of the T110.
Those are so good.
Maybe even earlier than that. And this is the box from J, the wine company in Hawaii that did the original release of the T110.
Got it.
Can't remember the name of the company right now. Marvin. Shout out to Marvin, though. The guy that runs it. I sent him an email like 13 years after I sent him an email to buy my first box of it. I replied to the email that I sent him 13 years earlier, and he was there and put in my order. It was great.
That's awesome. Marvin just sent me they Black Label had a store exclusive that they just released with him, and he sent me. It's crazy, man. He sent those cigars from Hawaii, and it got here faster than some other places that I order from, which is nuts. So that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Um, what did you just to go back to this to the Crown Head ceremony? What do you think about the rebrand?
I absolutely love the rebrand. Like, I think they absolutely crushed it. It brings like a consistency to the brand that has never been there, while making it look nicer than it looked before, which I didn't Crown Heads was one of those brands that when I heard they were rebranding, I was like, why? They don't need to rebrand. Like their packaging looks great. I love all their logos.
Well, the packaging's never been a problem because John's been in charge of it, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of why is like the packaging has always been great. But then I saw the rebrand and I was like, wow, it brings this level of consistency that they've never had. Um and it's like it brings like an air of professionalism almost to it, I guess is the term.
Yeah.
Um where like you see it on the shelf and you're like, wow, that looks great. You see one of them and you're like, yeah, I like it. You see them all on the shelf next to each other and you're like, okay, now I get it. They all look like they go together. They all still have the old logos that we all love. They still have the colors that make them pop. Um, I've been a big fan of their rebrand. I think they actually like did. It's one of the best rebrands I think I've ever seen in the cigar business.
Yeah, and I think what I really liked about it too is it kind of came out of nowhere. Like it was just there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just like we went to the booth and we were greeted by this like, oh wow. Didn't see that coming. Didn't really know what it was going to be and stuff like that.
Well,
Where
it
I
was like
think
I went in the booth and I saw the. Sorry to cut you off.
no, it's
I
okay.
didn't mean to. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like
Okay.
if you if
I went into the booth. Oh God.
go ahead, Tripp. You're fine. Go ahead,
You go.
please.
You
No,
go.
you. I insist. You're my guest. Go ahead.
Damn it. I went into the booth not realizing there had been a rebrand, and I saw the Broadway and was like, "Yeah, that looks pretty good. Cool packaging." And then John mentioned the rebrand, and saw all the other stuff, and I was like, "Ah, that makes sense," and it all looks great. Man, I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is and I think this is funny in an interesting way. So Crown Heads had this like to look back reflexively, right? Like reflectively, it like Crown Heads had this like discombobulated branding, right? Like the packaging always looked good, the branding always looked good. We said that because John's awesome, and so like it never seemed weird to me. Um, Again, reflectively looking back, you could say, oh, okay, it was disjointed because there wasn't a lot of correlation between the brands and stuff like that. They just were like
Mhm.
the own independent look, feel, and I think that's what I kind of liked about it, to be honest. Uh, but I don't know.
Same.
Um, but and then we have a couple years back, we have the rebranding of Illusione, right? and again, who had kind of a simplistic, again, reflectively looking back, disjointed, but there were some like stuff that kind of went together. The fonts that he used and things like that. But
Mhm.
the naming conventions were, like unless you were in the know, they were hard and things like that. And and it's crazy because I mean these are two of the most creative guys in the industry, right? Like they're geniuses, both of them. Um, and I mean, I'm still disappointed. I am still disappointed by the Illusione rebranding. It just doesn't click with me, and for whatever reason. And um, I don't think he screwed up. I don't think it damaged his brand or ruined his reputation. I don't think I'm not being that. It's not that dramatic. It's just never clicked with me. But this
I fully agree.
for me, this was instantaneously like, gosh, this was awesome. And it was almost like, and it's interesting because I felt the same way about both of them. Like I didn't think a rebrand was necessarily needed. I liked how Illusione was. I liked how Crowned Heads was. And it's ironic that like one hit for me and one didn't, you know. And but I mean, to get back to John and everything, just props to this man because I know how seriously he takes his creativity when it comes to branding and marketing and things like that. And I'm I'm sure this was an obvious departure from what he's used to doing, right? He's used to creating his own identity of cigars and stuff, and to kind of centralize everything under, the common name and everything, um, was probably challenging for him. And I think he crushed it. This is really, it's really great.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So you've had the Tennessee Waltz, right?
Oh yeah,
And you've
I love
had
that
the
cigar.
you've had the Yellow Rose.
Yep.
Okay, they need to bring back Buckeye Land, by the way, but that's just neither here nor there. So do you like Broadway more than
Hmm.
Tennessee Waltz or vice versa?
Oh man, I think I would need to smoke them side by side. Like just off of memory, I like the Tennessee Waltz more, but I have smoked a couple of Broadways in the last year, 10 months or whatever. I don't think I've smoked a single Tennessee Waltz in that timeline.
Right.
Like it's probably been 2 years since I've had one.
I love the Tennessee Waltz, and I really like the Broadway a lot. Um, I think they hit a home run with the Broadway. The Broadway is competing for me. Like, I think it's just because the Tennessee Waltz is very nostalgic for me, and I've definitely had a lot more. But I've been smoking a lot of the Broadway, though. I will say that it's very good.
Broadway's really good.
All right. Um, Before we get into our last pairing here, let's go ahead and jump to the next segment, which of course is our this or that segment, which brought to you by Artista Cigars. Yes, with nearly 70 years of rolling cigars experience, the family behind Artista believes in honoring their long-held tradition of handmade artistry. Artista's blends include factory exclusive tobaccos and front marks for every budget. In fact, Artista Cigars has been one of the most varied portfolios in the market today. There's something for everyone at Artista. Now, if you're like me and never can decide, Artista Cigars is really a breath of fresh air because I could take something from nearly every box that Artista has to offer, and I know I'm going to get something really special. So, Trev, you've done this a dozen times now. So this or that segment, just rapid fire. I'm going to give you a choice between one or two things. And
All right.
it's funny we've kind of talked about some of these categories already. So, but we're gonna go rapid fire, no context. I'd love to put it kind of contextual around games, but we've already kind of established you're not the biggest football fan. So, let's just go ahead and just roll with it. So, would you rather have would you rather have wings or nachos?
Oh man. In any context, that's a hard decision. but I gotta go nachos. As much as I love wings, I
Gotta
love
go
nachos
nachos,
even
huh?
more.
Okay. Nachos or burgers?
Nachos, easy.
Nachos or hot dogs?
Nachos.
Nachos or tacos?
Oh, that's even harder. If the nachos are good enough, it would be nachos. But if we're talking in any situation, I'm going taco.
Okay. While watching, we'll use your reference of F1. So F1 or MMA. While watching F1 or MMA, are you drinking beer or bourbon?
Depends on the day, but usually beer.
It's funny, we talked a lot about these kind of throughout our show. We were talking about like how many cigars per event, like so. A lot of this is kind of already discussed and everything. Um, are so let's talk about the events that you do watch. So, are you more apt to sit there and watch an entire F1 race again, or do you get up and do things throughout the race?
Oh, I watched the whole thing.
Watch the whole thing? Okay.
I'm in it. I want to sit there and see the whole thing.
Same thing with fights. Do you ever skip a fight? Or do you watch the whole card?
Not usually. Um, like I don't always watch the fights anymore because I feel like they've gotten a little too fast and furious for me. When it was like once every month and a half, it was a really good cadence for me. Now that sometimes they're like every week for a month straight, I tend to skip at least a handful a year.
Gotcha.
Um, but if I'm watching everything. I'm watching the entire undercard and everything.
Do you Here's a fun question. Do you like men's or women's fighting more?
Oh man, that's actually really hard for me because unlike a lot of guys, I feel like the female fighting is complained about a lot within the fandom. Like people are like, oh man, the ladies are up now. I'm going to get a beer or whatever. I love female fights because they have a different type of technicality to them,
Right.
and you're very rarely dealing with those one punch knockout artist kind of people like you are with men. And it's similar to the lighter weight men actually, but um I guess I'll say men just because the that's gonna be a clip. I guess I'll say men. Because in men fights there is more range. Like if you have
Okay.
three female fights in a row, um they're probably all going to be very technical. If you have three male fights in a row, you'll probably have one technical one kind of in the middle, and one that's just like heavyweight going at it, which is always
Yeah. I gotta say, I here's my answer. I think that when it comes to MMA, I don't like watching female boxing. I've just never been able to get into it, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I love boxing in general, but I've just never been able to get into it. But no, I absolutely prefer when it comes to MMA. I absolutely prefer watching female fights. Like,
oh really interesting.
yeah, yeah. I think to your point, I think it's more technical. But I think some of them, like the strength and flexibility of them, it's just you know is just really unique to see. In a
Yeah.
close combative zone. With the men, like to your point, like I do like the variety. You never know what you're going to get when it comes to two fights, right? Like when you're watching two fights, like one could be technical, and then one is just like fast and furious and stuff like that. So I think that part is pretty cool about men's fights, but I love the complexity of when women fight each other. I think it's just I think it's just insane. And I think
Yeah,
I think in a
I'm
lot
right
of
there with you.
ways, I think in a lot of ways the women are tougher.
I definitely think so. In almost every case.
Yeah.
Um, like I've seen a lot of gnarly fights over the years. Some of the gnarliest have been the women fights, where they keep going after gnarly injuries happen and stuff like that, and they're like, "Nope, I
Yeah.
can keep going."
Yeah. Like I've seen some women take some like fucking shots to the head, man. And it seems like when dudes take a shot to the head, and like I understand the anatomy and I understand the physical nature of it, and like you don't have to argue that with me. Like I get why a man's blow is more powerful than a woman's. Like you don't have to explain that to me. I'm not stupid. But um but I will say I've seen way more times to your point. I've seen way more times where a woman will take a shot to the head and she's still going. And
It toughs it out. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
incredible.
with guys, they take a shot and they're out. And yeah, again, we could talk about the power and everything like that. I'm not saying they're weak. Like I'm saying, like I know that that was it,
Well,
but it's just great to kind of see that fight keep going. Like see some of those
I
women like
think
persevere and things like that. So
yeah, and I do think more often you see the panic response in male fighters than female fighters.
yeah,
Like where they take a big shot and then they're in panic mode where they're they make more mistakes and then they uh you know they lose the fight one way or the other.
right.
Um and women seem to be much better at compartmentalizing that and going, this isn't the time to be freaked out about this. I got to
Yeah,
do my job.
I got it. Yeah, I got shit to do. Yeah. So this might seem I've really recently like embraced my inner Neanderthal, and one thing that I've been watching a lot of on like on online and stuff like that is power slap. Have you seen this? Like,
I've seen some of it.
they
I
slap each
haven't
other
like
back and forth.
watched whole events.
Yeah. I mean, it's first of all, like
It's brutal, man.
it is absolutely brutal. And these are some of the toughest men and women you'll ever meet that ever exist. And you could probably say like, oh, they're a couple fries short of a Happy Meal because they sit there and they'll take a shot. And this is how they compete. And like I first of all, I wouldn't say it to any of them to their face. Because yeah, that's just stupid. Like again, these are some of the toughest people I've ever seen. Like, I mean, they can't guard. They can't fight back. In fact, they get penalized for even flinching.
Yeah,
And
part of the game is you just take it like a man. And it is like if you've never seen it, these people get the absolute shit slapped out of them.
yeah, and you're like,
Like
oh, I could
to a
sit
level
there.
you can't even imagine.
You're like, you did like there, and people are like, oh, I could sit there and take it. No, you can't. No, like these guys and gals have mouth guards. They have cotton in their ears to prevent from like blowing out their eardrums. Like it is insane the beating that and like they when they especially when they slow it down and you see the slow-mo impact of the hand hitting the face and stuff, it's like holy shit, man. And some of these people just like fall backwards and they're done. They're out. Because I mean, it's
Yeah,
the
some people they get slapped once like that and the lights go out.
well,
And then you see a guy that like a dude twice his size just whap, slaps him right across the face and really rings his bell and the guy just takes it.
yeah.
Wild.
Well, it's like the equivalent of just letting like a boxing champ or an MMA fighter with a free giving them a free shot. I mean, that's essentially
Yeah,
what you're
just a
doing.
punch to the temple.
Yeah, let's just see what happens. Like sit there and take it, right? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So, like I said, it's not the most it's certainly not the most technical sport in the world, and it's certainly not the most um refined. But
Yeah.
I can't take my eyes off of it for one reason or another. So, I mean, those are some tough ladies and men for sure. So, Those Tennessee Waltz is smoking fantastic and really good with the queso fundido that I had. Uh, we got one more snack, one more pairing to go. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go first this time.
Go
So,
for it.
um, this is my mozzarella stick. Now, one, it's large. Two, that's actually not breading on the outside. That's actually ground chicken. So I
Wow.
flatten ground chicken. I put the mozzarella inside, and then I air fry it, and you get a gorgeous mozzarella stick. And I made a avocado jalapeno ranch dipping sauce for it, and it's
Very
absolutely fantastic.
fancy. I'm a lot less fancy for my last one. Um, this just happened to be what I was making for dinner. I didn't think about the Super Bowl or anything. There was a point where I was like, oh yeah, I guess making chili seems like a very Super Bowl food. Um, I made chili for dinner. I don't make chili often, but my I've talked about before. My parents live with me, in like a little apartment, and so I am the chef of the house. Um, and they requested chili this week, so I figured I would make chili today. And I spent a couple hours in the kitchen chopping up onions and cooking things, and made a delicious but somewhat mild chili. I mean, you know, I'm showing you chili on camera. Chili's not very interesting looking. Never is. Nobody's ever looked at chili and gone, "Oh yeah, that looks real good." It always looks like mush. Um, but this I think turned out pretty good. I haven't eaten it since dinner time.
It's
We
the
had it
toppings
over
that
some
make it
noodles.
aesthetically pleasing, but the chili itself, like to your
That's
point.
true, and I didn't put any toppings on this for the moment. It needs a little cheese, little like creme fraiche or sour cream, some chives, something like that. Um, but I was feeling lazy, so I didn't do any of that.
So what goes into your
Um,
chili? This is a process. It has
all
to be
right,
a process, right?
it is. I like I said, I don't make chili often, so I don't have like my own chili recipe. I just make it up as I go along. Um, start with lots of onions. I love onions. I put onions in almost everything I make. Anytime I'm cooking something, I usually start with onion. So this was 2 onions,
Great
about two
foundation.
pounds of beef.
Great foundation.
Um, added some garlic, obviously salt and pepper, some cumin, some chili powder, obviously. There's something else I added. Oh, some paprika, just to amp the color up a little bit, give it that little bit of extra flavor. It's both smoked and sweet paprikas.
Oh,
Um,
okay. All right.
I did something I never tried before, but I read somebody who recommended it. I dumped in an entire bottle of. I have like 2 bottles left of Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I wanted an
Okay.
Oktoberfest beer, and Sam Adams is, I think, the worst one, but it's decent enough beer. But I dumped in a whole bottle of that, some beef stock, and then I cooked it for about 4 hours and just let it cook down and reduce and reduce and reduce until it thickened up. Oh, both um, kidney beans and pinto beans.
Oh, you put beans in the chili. Oh, see, that's not chili, but that's cool.
Yeah, I know. My parents are huge bean people, so
You're not Texan. It's fine,
it,
Trip. We'll just let it go.
if it
It's
was
fine.
up to me, it would be no bean chili. My wife only likes no bean chili, but my parents wanted chili, and my wife doesn't even like no bean chili that much. She likes it, but um, and I there if there's one thing I was not doing today, it was making 2 pots of chili.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely
um,
no.
so so the beans, it my parents complained it was light on the beans. I thought it was perfect. My daughter,
Did I miss this? What kind of meat did you use?
oh, just ground beef.
Just ground beef? Okay.
Yeah, just plain ground beef, nothing fancy. Oh, crushed tomatoes, of course. I added some crushed tomatoes in there. Um, my 1.5-year-old, she would riot if there wasn't beans in the chili. She loves beans. She sits there hunting her plate for beans, going, bean, bean, bean. She's like, she mostly ate the beans. I probably should have given her some of my beans. Then I could have had bean free. Um, yeah,
Next
this
time.
is
There
this
you
is
go.
just kind of a standard-ish chili recipe. I did have fun making it, so I think I might make more chili in the future and try to own my recipe a little bit because I like to, I like to have a twist on it. And this doesn't really have a twist other than putting beer in, which doesn't do a whole lot. It just kind of turns up the sweetness a little bit. A little bit of earthiness, I guess, too.
Yeah, the maltiness of the October, the Marzen beer, the sweetness, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna tell me Guinness there for a second. The way I knew it was gonna be a beer, but I thought it was gonna be like a Guinness that you
If I
put in.
had any, it would have been Guinness. I
Yeah.
almost. So, back to we were planning on doing a hot show. And I had toyed with the idea of doing Mexican hot chocolate. So I got some Abuelita Mexican hot chocolate tablets.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Thought about tossing one of those in the chili since I wasn't going to use them for a drink tonight anyway. But I decided not to. I didn't want to overdo it.
Well, a lot of people do. I can't have it because I'm allergic to chocolate, as
Oh,
you
that's
know.
true.
But a lot of people do that, and it's a solid move, man. I mean, I've done coffee. I've done I've done Guinness before. I've done Oktoberfest beer before as well too.
Oh wow.
Uh, I've also done Blackstrap rum.
Oh, I bet that would be good. I
Yeah,
should have done some of that. I got some of that over here.
yeah, that's really good. Um, I usually use dried chilies. I rehydrate dried chilies and then blend it up with some crushed
I
tomatoes.
like that idea. The only problem with that for me is that my as much as I like spice, my mom is really sensitive to it.
Oh, gotcha.
So if I overdo it on the spice, she's not eating a bite of it. So I had to dial it back on the chili powder compared to what I would normally do. And you know what I thought of as I was like mixing all the spices with the onions as I was cooking the onions down?
Hmm.
Uh chili is like American curry.
Yes, or
Like
vice
American
versa, but yeah,
bastardized curry.
yeah, it really is. Um, so I paired my mozzarella sticks, my mozzarella sticks, with a shout out to Jay Davis from Blue Smoke of Dallas. I was hanging out with him actually earlier this week. It was cool. Um,
Nice.
and while I was there, I grabbed the Domain Nadrentropy. Um, can't remember what size this is, and I had the cellophane. Oh, here it is. Oh, they just call it the Toro. Okay. This is a 50 by 6 Toro. They
Huh.
have different size names, so like they call them different names and stuff like that. So but the label just says
I
Toro
was
50 by 6.
expecting something that I would never remember.
Yeah. But this is just a 50 by 6. I do like it in the Shaggy Foot like torpedo that they make. That's the
Oh,
preferred
that one's cool.
Vitola and then a Gentropy that I like, but I'm really digging in this Vitola, and I think it's really good with the mozzarella stick. It's really fantastic. This is really good, really nice and spicy. Kind of goes well with the umami flavors of the mozzarella stick because I have it coated in Parmesan cheese and a little panko breadcrumb and some Italian spices and stuff like that. So the spiciness of
Wow.
this cigar
That
goes well.
mozzarella stick sounds incredible.
Yeah, so here's how you do it, man. I mean, seriously, you get parchment paper, you lay it down, you just grab, open up a package of, ground chicken, just take a little piece of it, fold over the parchment paper, flatten it out. So you got like a little flat sheet of ground chicken. You just stick the mozzarella stick down, season it with whatever.
Did you
And
use like string cheese mozzarella stick kind of stuff
what's that?
or what?
String cheese, yeah. Hmm.
Do you use like a string
String
cheese?
cheese, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Hmm. And then you just roll the chicken around it. Use the parchment paper to do the work for you. And then I I will say this that I've done it before, and I'm still thinking, I'm still toying with it. You kind of need egg for the binder. There's no fat in ground chicken. It's so lean. So it's you know if you grab ground beef, even if you grab ground turkey, there's some with the fat that's in it. There's some stick to it, and so
Yeah.
with ground chicken, there's absolutely nothing. You know, and it's just so lean, and so it's very you know it's very non-pasty. So it probably needs to have an egg added to it for some binder, but it works really well. And then you kind
Yeah.
of just form it around the cheese. You let it sit. Probably putting it in the fridge will really help kind of solidify it a little bit. And then you just put some Parmesan cheese down. You could put a little panko or not if you want, go completely keto and just put the cheese down. Season up the cheese, of course, because you got to season up everything. And just
I'm gonna try this.
coat
That
the
sounds
outside.
awesome.
It's awesome. And then I air fried it for like 12 minutes. It's really great. It's really awesome.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that. That sounds fantastic. I bet the kids will like it.
Oh,
They
kids
like
will love it.
chicken. They
Yeah.
like mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, exactly. And apologies to you and my audience as well, guys. My allergies have been just they're back, the ice cold frigid blizzard that came and went and kind of froze out all the stuff is gone, and the warmth is back here in Texas even though it's February. It was 85 degrees today, so that was great. And then my allergies are just going nuts again. So just bravo. It's fantastic.
Been there.
Uh,
Been there, man.
so so those were our snacks. They were those were our Super Bowl snacks. Is there anything that like is also a go-to for you, like during like snacky foods or game day foods that you would consider like
Yes, I
staples?
brought a list.
Oh, fantastic. Here we go.
Buffalo chicken dip. I love a buffalo chicken dip, man. Like cream cheese, chicken, buffalo sauce, whatever else you feel like putting in it. Pickles, anything else, I am down. I love
Pick
that stuff.
pickles. Pickles.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Pigs and
I
blanket.
I love pickles. I don't think I've ever had it in buffalo chicken dip though.
Oh, it's good.
Sounds like I need to
You
try.
should try it.
What kind of pickles?
Only dill. Never
Only dill.
sweet pickles for me.
Never sweet pickles. Okay, only dill. Got it.
Never give me a sweet pickle. I hate them. I don't want my pickles to taste like candy, man. The more sour, the better.
Got
Speaking
it.
of
Okay.
which, one of my other favorite snacks or any kind of I love like a my in-laws a lot of times whenever they host a party they always do kind of charcuterie boards.
Yeah.
My two favorite things to have on a charcuterie board are cornichons.
Yeah.
Are you familiar?
Oh yeah. They're not too
Tiny
sweet for you?
pickles. Tiny No, typically cornichons, like French style cornichons, are very sour,
Yeah, okay.
very not very sweet at all.
Okay, yeah, because
Barely sweet.
there are sweet kinds, but
Uh,
yeah, you're right. French style are sour. You're right. 1000%. Okay. Yeah.
and olives. Olives and cornichons are my two favorite things from
A
any kind of
charcuterie board.
charcuterie board.
What kind of olives?
Um, usually just about any kind of green olive. I'll go for black. I'll go for Kalamata, not canned. Don't give
Kalamata
me any
olives are
canned
awesome.
olives.
Kalamata olives are amazing. Love it.
I love olives, man. I'm like Coop. Like I could just eat it. I could just eat a whole jar of olives. Maybe not a whole jar. Maybe a third of a jar, just as a snack. Same thing with cornichons or pickles. Like I just keep a jar of cornichons in my fridge, and when I'm making dinner, I'll just pull out the jar, pop a couple out, and snack on them while I'm cooking
Exactly.
dinner.
Yeah. You gotta have a little snack
Or
while
I
you're
wake
making
up in the middle of the night. Maybe I wake up in the morning and I just feel like a pickle. Go for one of those tiny little cornichons. They're the best, man.
Good stuff.
All right. My other want to haves. Those are my requirements for something like this. My want to haves are little smokies.
Yeah, good call.
I love those things. Bacon wrapped dates.
Yeah,
Or alternatively bacon wrapped water chestnut.
bacon wrapped
Oh,
water
and
chestnuts.
jalapeno
I've never
peppers.
done them.
Oh, bacon wrapped water chestnuts. You're missing out, man. A water
Uh,
chestnut on a skewer wrapped in crispy bacon. Oh, it's delicious.
I have never had that. I'd be down. I mean, why not? It's bacon covered, so like, what the fuck? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, it's delicious.
Great.
Um, love, yeah, prosciutto wrapped figs or prosciutto wrapped dates. Absolute money.
Mm-hmm.
God, they're so good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I love a good slider, man. Barbecue chicken, buffalo chicken, burger, brisket, pulled pork. Love a good slider. You know, it's a nice little mini sandwich. Hot dogs. Yeah, little smokies are great. Meatballs are great too. By the way, meatballs are fantastic
Oh yeah.
to have around. Um, here's my hot take about sauces. Okay, and I like proved an example with the mozzarella stick. You're like, well, Bear, why didn't you have marinara? I fucking can't stand just marinara sauce by itself.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I can't. Like, like, give me a good Sunday
Like
gravy,
as a
sure,
dip or entirely?
as a dip. Yeah,
Okay.
and it doesn't really ever seem that enticing to me, to be honest, until I'm eating it. Like, if I'm at an Italian restaurant, yeah, or I'll order something with marinara or like a good Sunday gravy. Like that's great too. But gosh, man, I just like the thought of dipping breadsticks into marinara, mozzarella sticks, marinara, or like all these snack foods, these videos that you see where people dip stuff into marinara sauce. I'm like, oh, it's ruined. Like, it looked good until you're like telling me that I have to dip it in marinara. I'm just like, no, no thanks.
Okay. I'm kind of with you there. Like I can take or leave marinara. Like if my kid orders mozzarella sticks and eats a third of them, nobody else wants them. There are four left. I'm probably dipping one in marinara, if that.
Yeah, I'd rather just eat the stick.
I usually do. That's what I'm saying. Is I usually eat the stick and then I dip one in marinara. And I'm like, I guess it's fine.
I was at a restaurant once. I can't tell you what the name of it was, but I remember ordering like fried pickles, which I thought were always really good. And the sauce they gave with it, fried pickles, was marinara. And I was like, no,
That's
no,
crazy.
no. Let's just no. Let's not do that.
That's
Let's not.
crazy. It's got
Yeah,
to be like spicy mayo, creamy mustard, something like that. Like
yeah,
marinara is nuts. That's insanity.
yeah. It was not good.
I
And I
would
was like, I'll try
throw
it because
that
I'm like,
marinara back into the kitchen.
yeah, like maybe I don't know something. No, they were just idiots. It just was not good. Not good at all. So now that was kind of any other staples? Did we miss any other staples?
I think that was my list that I came up with. There probably are others that I'm not thinking about.
Okay. Well, that was our Postania Everybody Eats segment. I forgot to kick things off with that. I apologize, but that was going to be my question for Everybody Eats tonight. If you always make sure that your servant's towel is bigger than your appetite, everybody will always get theirs. Postania Cigars is more than just great cigars made by cool people. They embody an attitude of gratitude and grit. With Postania, everybody eats. So yeah, those are some of my staples and everything. I think also too, like you don't really run into this problem here in Texas. I have had this problem in other places, like pulled pork sliders or brisket sliders and everything like that, where the meat is just really dried out. And I don't know what they do to screw that up. You don't really run into that problem here in Texas. Like, we know how to do barbecue all the time, so which is good. But
Mostly.
yeah, mostly okay. Challenge needs to be heard here. What do we not do good?
Uh, pulled pork.
Okay.
I mean, not that it's bad. It's just, um, I like a drier pulled pork. Don't mix the pulled pork with sauce and then it's all wet and red. Like a little bit of sauce is all you need to mix with it, and then you add the rest on top. But I grew up eating. I don't know that it even has a style. It's a mix of South Carolina or North Carolina style barbecue with other. It's. I've always thought of
Yeah.
it as like Virginia Richmond style,
With
which
vinegar,
is like
like a vinegar sauce.
vinegary tomato sauce,
Yeah.
like tomato vinegar based, but with tomato in it. There's a specific brand that makes, I think, the best barbecue sauce there is, which is very vinegary, very spice heavy, and a little tomatoey. And you don't salt the meat until it's on the sandwich. You don't just mix it up in a pot so it's all saucy and wet. Because you shouldn't need that. It should be tender and moist without the sauce, and then you add the sauce on top. That's my hot take for the day.
Yeah. There is a restaurant here in the DFW area, and I've swore up and down he makes the best pulled pork I've ever had in my life. It's this place in the mid cities. It's next to the DFW airport called Rosacco's Soul Food and Barbecue, and his pulled pork is awesome. It's not wet, to your point. In fact, it's so flavorful you don't even need sauce. It's that crazy good, which is crazy.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's the kind
really
of
good.
pulled pork that I like.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it's the best pulled pork I've ever had, like hands down. I always say this, it's really funny. I like everything on his menu, and I think his brisket's okay, but he's really proud of his brisket. He thinks it's really good, and I'm just like, it's okay. Everything else is outstanding in that restaurant. It's fantastic. Best pulled pork
Wow.
I've ever eaten in my life. Um, and best collard greens I've ever eaten as well.
Oh, I love some collard greens.
Yeah. And that's saying something because like I just had we were just in Vegas together and I had Yardbird collard greens and I think the Yardbird collard greens are unbelievable. This guy beats them. And
Wow.
yeah, they're just really good. So
All right.
awesome. All right. Well, that will bring us to our next segment brought to you by Asylum Cigars. Refuge is more than a physical place, it can be a state of mind. Some of life's greatest reflections can be found in our own personal asylum. Moments like these were made for Asylum Cigars. Light up an asylum and choose your refuge. Now, Tripp, you mentioned watching F1 races and sometimes your kids walk in and everything like that. But when's the last time that you had um, a sports moment to yourself? F1, MMA. When was the last time that you were able to kind of partake it in by yourself? And were you smoking anything? And if you were, like, what can you remember?
Most of the time, I'm watching it by myself. My kids will wander in and stuff. 3 or 4 races a year I'll watch in the living room because morning races and you know in the morning I'm hanging out with my daughter usually, the youngest. Um, and it's something she doesn't mind having on the TV at the very least. Um, but most races, including the last one, let me look up what the last race was because I can't remember and it's driving me crazy. It was Abu Dhabi. Okay, I was
Okay.
right with one of my things. Yas Marina is in Abu Dhabi. Um, yeah, it was the Abu Dhabi race in December that I was able to watch out here. I wish I remembered what I was smoking, but I was definitely smoking a cigar when I watched that race. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. Probably no, I don't know what it would have been. I have a
You
terrible memory when it comes
well,
to
you
what I
you said
smoked in
you had
specific.
mentioned how you like to gravitate towards like the larger cigars that you know you're not going to smoke because it's just a huge time commitment.
Yeah,
So it's probably like one of those.
yeah, it might have been. Man, there was a like a Churchill that I had of something. I can't remember what it was. I smoked it when I was doing one of the races. Oh, I don't remember if it was that race or if it was one of the earlier ones, but I did have a uh man. I love this cigar, and you can't find them at enough places. The Tatuaje Sir Winston.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love that cigar. And I've definitely smoked a handful of those during F1 races.
Nice.
I don't remember if I smoked it
Pete would
during
be
Abu
glad to hear
Dhabi, but
that.
I
Pete's a
might have.
big F1 fan, so um during while I was cooking and everything and enjoying tonight's Super Bowl, I smoked through an entire Octo Ocho from the Viva La Vida guys,
Wow,
you know, Artisan Retail Tobacco. So all three of them. It's really God, it's such a
that's
good.
awesome.
It is such a good Calabra. Holy shit, man! It is so goddamn good.
It really is.
And
I think it's one of the better Calabras I've ever had.
it it might. It's close to being as good as the Fausto Calabra. Do you remember? Did you smoke the Fausto Calabra?
Oh yeah, the Old
Yeah,
Man in the Sea,
the Old
of
Man in the
course.
Sea. It's pretty fucking close, if not right on it. And that cigar, like that's the
Yeah,
best Calabra I've ever had. Is the Old Man in the Sea. Um, and I freaking love it. And it's really funny because like I even had those guys on and I was like, hey, I just want to be honest with you guys. Like the Connecticut Viva La Vida Connecticut is an unbelievable cigar. And then I've really been liking the um like the squid that I smoked on the show with him that night was
hmm
unbelievable. The Octo Ocho, like really good. Um, really good cigars. And like I just didn't like some of the earlier stuff, man. Just didn't hit my palate. And they're extremely popular, man. So like, they don't need me to like their cigars, but I wanted to be honest with them. And they really couldn't have been more gracious, couldn't have been nicer, couldn't have been more appreciative. And that was really nice. That was really nice.
those guys
And
are great, man.
yeah, and
I'm a
we
big fan.
smoked the squid together that night, and it was just great, just great. So, all right, well, time has come, Trip. We are here at the end of our evening. So this is the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust curveball segment. Fastballs or curveballs, it doesn't matter. Since the company's inception, Steve Sock has been knocking them out of the park. Count it up. He's done it again, 11 consecutive years in the consensus top three. Congratulations to our good friend, Mr. Steve Saka. I was I was genuinely surprised that not that he didn't win. I mean, I was surprised that he didn't win. I thought he had enough points. I was doing the math. I don't know how much you follow the consensus Trip.
Oh, I
Um,
definitely do.
yeah, like I was really counting the points, and I thought Salita Red had it. Like I thought he had it, and but I gotta tell you, I did not see my father Blue taking it. Like I was like, I guess I
Neither did
just
I.
wasn't.
I was very surprised.
Yeah, that really kind of came out of nowhere. But I mean, it was on a lot of lists, obviously, and it was extremely popular. We had a conversation with Jason at Cigar Box about it specifically, and I'm giving it another run. I'm giving it another go. Jason's got a really good palate, and I respect it a lot, and he really seems to like that cigar. So I'm giving it another go and just see what I can
He's
find.
he's he's got me starting to turn around on it.
It just, yeah,
After smoking a couple more of them, I need to buy some so that I can give it a couple more run throughs, and so that we can smoke it on Let's Get Pairing.
yeah.
Um, but for now, I'm slowly the ship is in the middle of turning around.
Yeah. So the curveball segment question for tonight, Trip, because I know you're not a football fan. Um, but I wanted to have a little fun with this.
Oh boy.
Since you're not a football fan, you don't have a dog in any fight whatsoever. Um, if you had the choice and could go to a Super Bowl, um, you could go to the Super Bowl, and you could decide the place that the Super Bowl was at and the teams playing. Wanted to see if what you would come up with. Wanted to give you carte blanche,
Oh
freedom
man.
to everything, to a sport that you don't really follow, and I just wanted to see if so.
Yeah.
I know this is putting you on the spot, but that's the whole point. But I wanted to see what would
I
come
mean,
of it.
if I had the opportunity to go to, like, if somebody was like, "Hey, I'm going to the Super Bowl, you want to come?" I'd be in. Like, of course.
Yeah,
I would
once in a
go. I would
lifetime
enjoy
opportunity.
watching the game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but if I could choose who was playing in it, I don't even know who I would choose. Um, and I don't know where. Maybe I would choose Seattle because I know that area of Seattle right where the field is really,
yeah,
really well. Spent a shitload of time there. Man, one time I came in on the train, it's like the train station is right behind the field.
yeah.
And one time I took the train in to Seattle for work, like uh
Up from
I had
Portland,
a
right?
later train. Yeah, from Portland. So it's like a 3 hour train ride. No
What
big
is it?
deal.
King's Cross, right?
Um,
That's where that's the station or
yeah,
King's something.
King
Yeah,
Station.
King Station.
King's yeah, I think it's just King Station.
Yeah, King Station. King's
Um,
Cross is in London. That's what I'm thinking of. King Station. That's what it is.
but I
Yeah.
get off the train and there are fucking people everywhere. I had to wait like 35 minutes for an Uber. The game had let out it was, I don't know if it was a playoff or what, but it was a big game that had let out as the train pulled into the station. So I had to walk like 10 blocks to get an Uber that I waited 20 minutes for already.
That's
It
crazy.
was a nightmare. And then I was stuck in traffic for like 45 minutes to go, I don't know, another 20 blocks. Not
Jesus.
that far, but far enough that I don't want to walk. I know enough not to walk with luggage in downtown Seattle. I had been there enough times that if I'm walking around in downtown Seattle, I'm doing it uh, looking like a lunatic. You know, trying to walk in a way that people are gonna just not approach me. And that I don't have anything of value. Um, because
You don't want to walk through
downtown
Pioneer
Seattle can get
you don't want to
sketchy.
walk through Pioneer Plaza with like all your like, life's treasures.
No,
Seattle.
absolutely not. It's especially like right there in like the the 16, 18 blocks maybe between like the field and Pike's Place Market are like the sketchiest part of downtown Seattle.
Yeah.
It's like right where all the tourists are, and it's crazy sketchy at night. But I'd spent a lot of time there, so that part wasn't a big deal. I just didn't want to walk that far with my luggage. Um, so I would probably say I would go to Seattle because then after the game, I could hang out in Seattle again for a while. But as far as teams, again, I have absolutely no dog in the fight. I don't know who's on any of the teams. Like I know maybe one player from six different teams,
Okay.
and that's probably about it. Um,
It's funny that you said you
yeah.
described not walking that, like walking through that area, because that's exactly what I did. So years back,
Mhm.
when it was just Jeremiah and my ex-wife. We walked from a hotel in downtown Seattle to King Station, walked through Pioneer Plaza. We did this at really early in the morning. I want to say it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock, like right after sunrise.
That's a sketchy time to be there
Yeah.
for sure.
Um, Gotta be honest though, it was a time of year. It was early. It was late May because it was Memorial Day weekend. But we went to King Station because we took the train from Seattle all the way up to Vancouver, Canada, BC.
Oh wow.
Beautiful train ride. Holy crap. Unbelievable. Unbelievable experience. It was great. And and yeah, so I was uh Jeremiah was just old enough. He had a little carry-on pulley bag, suitcase bag. He was pulling that through. And what a champ he was at like I think 3 years old at that time. Walking all that way. And his mom had I think had another piece of luggage. I had a piece of luggage, the car seat, because you got to have the car seat for the little baby kid, for the 3-year-old,
Hmm.
and my backpack. And I was walking, then we walked all that way. It was crazy. And um, but yeah, I remember walking through Pioneer Plaza. Not that much
I
sketchy
just
going
realized
on.
I think it's King Street Station.
King Street
Sorry
Station.
to interrupt. I think it's King Street Station.
Okay, King something, but not King's Cross is in London though. I said King's Cross earlier,
Yeah.
so it's definitely not King's Cross. But yeah, that was a fun. That train ride was a great experience. That was unbelievable. So, um, I would love to see a Super Bowl here in Dallas again. It was back. We had a Super Bowl down here in 2010. Of course, we had one of our infamous ice storms that completely shuts down the world, and so it made it it made it miserable. Uh, Businesses and the NFL and everyone lost millions because people couldn't come,
Oh man.
couldn't fly in, couldn't come to the game, couldn't do any of the pregame festivities. It was really crazy, but it was nice because the Packers won, so that was my team. So I would love to see that again. The Packers playing somebody here in Texas. I would love to go to that game and watch the Packers win, which would
Nice.
be preferable. So that would be my hope. Alrighty. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed hearing about our snacks. We had some that kind of lined up, which again we didn't plan this, so that was kind of cool. It's nice to know we're on the same wavelength there. And
Hmm.
paired up some nice cigars. I had the Room 101 Johnny Tobacconaut with my Buffalo Chicken Tenders. I had the Crowned Heads Tennessee Waltz with my Chili con Queso Fundido, and I had the Domaine Negentropy Toro with my chicken mozzarella sticks. So good stuff. Uh, why don't you recap what you smoked tonight, Trip, and the snacks that you brought?
I only had two cigars. I had the forgot. Oh yeah, the La Aurora Family Creed series Fuerte Sol. Um, with my buffalo chicken wings. Then I switched to the Tatuaje T110 that I had with both my crazy spicy cheese dip and my much less spicy chili. Um, and it paired well with really both of those. Like the meatiness of Tatuaje kind of works with the chili. That, like I said before, the level of spice in this sauce in this cheese dip is very intense, and it really changed the experience of the cigar in a noticeable way, which was interesting.
Awesome. Now, can you tell us one more time about the hot sauce that you put into the queso? Because that was
Ah,
something.
yes. I should have brought the bottle out here, but it's called the Last Dab Apollo from Hot Ones, and it is I mean it's essentially a mash of the hottest pepper in the world with enough vinegar to make it pourable. It is crazy hot. I put 5 drops in here. I've had it like on stuff before, and it's a lot. Um, it's a lot. I mean, even this is enough that like you really feel that burn going down. But for me it's very manageable. Um, with
Nice.
just 5 drops in this, cup and a half of sauce or so. Uh, man, I thought it worked really well. I wasn't sure. I thought it might be just not even noticeable almost because it was such a small volume of hot sauce. But it was for me, it was just the right amount where you feel the intensity of that heat, but it doesn't last too long. It's not blowing out my palate. It just gives me a little taste, and I can get back to smoking my cigar.
There you go. Well, thanks to our audience for tuning in tonight with us after the big game. And for those of you listening or watching later on, we really appreciate it. We always broadcast almost every Sunday night live here on Facebook, and then we broadcast later and play back later on our YouTube channel. Our video broadcasts are always courtesy of our good friend Nick Melillo at Foundation Cigar. Um, Tonight's video broadcast is courtesy of Foundation Cigars. Nick Melillo is a well-known cigar maker in the premium cigar industry. He is the founder and owner of Foundation Cigar Company. 11 years ago, he created this company, which produces a range of high-quality, handcrafted cigars. His values have always consisted of quality, consistency, balance, and flavor. Check out foundationcigars.com today. And if you are listening to us later on podcasts, you get the delightful chewing and crunch of some of our tasty bites, as well as some of our description. You do miss out on the visual, so I apologize for that. But our audio broadcast is always courtesy of our good friends at Gran Habano Cigars. Honest, compassionate, great cigars. Be sure you download, subscribe, and review today. Thanks to our good friends at Gran Habano Cigars. And as always, we really do appreciate those reviews. So make sure that you give them. We love the 5 stars, and we love other reviews as well. But listen, if you're going to give a 1-star review, be constructive. Tell us what we're doing wrong. To the guy who said that my audio levels suck, I've been working on that. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you're still listening. And the experience has been greatly improved. But to the guy who gave me a 1-star review and left me nothing, left it blank, as I say every week, fuck you. Got nothing for you. Can't help you. So, but do appreciate all those likes, shares, and comments. Keep them coming throughout all of our platforms as well. We do really appreciate our live audience who always sticks around with us almost every Sunday night. We've got George Brightman back next week. We're going to finish up the top 15 boutique cigars of 2025. It's going to be an awesome exercise. And then we have a slate of great guests coming up as well. We're marching towards the PCA trade show in April. Can't believe it's almost here. We're really excited for that. Tripp, what's going on Let's Get Pairing?
We aren't sure yet. We're planning on, there's a couple cigars we have coming in hopper. I'm working on getting Dennis and My Father Blues. We want to do I can't remember the name of it, but the Martin Cove cigar. I'm very curious about that, and I've heard good things. And then last week we did the Hiram Solomon Cornerstone, because Dennis is a Mason, and so we talked about some Masonic stuff. Check out Let's Compare.
That was such a great episode. People need to go back and listen to that. That was so cool. I've always been fascinated about Masonic lore, and knew that Dennis was getting into it, and I was really excited for him. And so it's a really great episode. You need to go back and check that out if you haven't. It's really awesome. So you can always catch Tripp and Dennis on Let's Get Pairing just before our show kicks off on Sundays. I've even been a guest a few times as well too, so you can see me there as well. We got a lot of stuff coming from the Cigar Coop Coalition, of course, on Cigar Coop Primetime and Cigar Coop Primetime Special Edition. He'll be rolling out the virtual trade show coming up here in the next couple of months. Just before the actual trade show in New Orleans. And of course, Ben at the Smoking Syndicate is doing some great reviews and some awesome content as well. So you definitely want to check that out too. We'll be doing a roundtable here one of these days. And we're really excited to always do those and kind of get together and review a cigar live with our audience. So we really appreciate it. So check out everything, Cigar Coop, Smoking Syndicate, Let's Get Pairing, and of course, ELOSOFUMARTAKES. We really do appreciate all of your support for all of the brands. And as always, I'm Bear Duplessis, live from the Alec Bradley Lone Star Studio of Azle, Texas. This was our 354th take. He's Tripp Waldrop. Guess what, everybody? We'll see you next time.
Ooh.